Hey guys, it's been a while and I'm back. Today we'll be taking a look at Draven. It's gonna be a rapid fire guys, so keep up guys. Okay, so this part will be where I explain the items and runes. So here's the item list and the runes that you should be taking when playing Draven. Okay, so the first item we'll be rushing is a Bloodthirster because it's really good for him and it's synergized really well with his first ability. Draven is already dealing a lot of damage, so on top of that, if you have the lifesteal, you'll be healing more. So the second item you'll be going is the lifesteal boots and upgrading them to Quicksilver Stash. The third item will be Infinity Edge. It will give you the damage and it will, as well as the RNG 25% of crit chance. So if you're lucky, you will be able to hit them with around like 800 raw damage of your AD. And the fourth item we'll be going is Guardian Angel because it will keep you alive throughout the entire game. And the fifth item is gonna be Phantom Dancer because it will be giving you the mobility as well as the crit. And the last item will be either Mortal Reminder or you can go for Death Dance depending on the game. So if they have a lot of healing, you can be going for Mortal Reminder. If not, you can just go for Death Dance. It will give you more sustain and you'll be able to fight longer. So for the runes, we'll be going Conqueror and the Champion, because the reason why we're going there is because Draven is very aggressive in the early game. So you want to use all the aggression and just snowball into the late game. And you will be taking Backbone as well so that you can be fighting in the early game, and as well as the Swift Tooth so that you can be healing up from the plant faster. Yeah, the honey fruits, it will actually heal you up 25% more, as well as the gold that it gives. So it will let Draven snowball really hard. As long as you can snowball really hard in the early game, Draven will be good to go and he'll just stomp anyone in the way. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys only how I play Draven in the early game and mid game, because late game is pretty much self-explanatory. While Draven is really snowballing, you can just one-shot anyone. So just play like other AD carries, you know, just watch out for your position and yeah, just hit anyone that's in your way. So that's about it. That's how you play AD carry. So the important thing is the early game and the mid game. Okay, so for the first game, I'll be showing you guys the good example, and the second game will be the bad example of how you should not be playing Draven. So in this game, I'm playing with my friend. We are on the Discord, we have communication. So right there you can see that I'm playing very aggressive and my support is playing very aggressive as well, because I'm telling him to play super aggressive. I know that I'm playing Draven and I know the limits on the champion. So I'm running exhaust because I want to take the early game aggression fights instead of heal, because I know I'm the best Draven, you know. Okay, right here I'm just running right into their face, running right to their face, as you can see, using pretty much just dealing a lot of damage from the X's. So as long as you are in a fight and you're catching the X's, your damage will be there. So right there was a bad example of how you should be playing Draven, but with the exhaust they can't really do much. So what you want to do is sit behind your support, even if they are like Soraka, Seraphine, you know, make them like take all the damage and you will be dealing damage. So when you are attacking the tower, you want to be catching the X's as well. What you want to do on Draven is just catch the X's as much as possible, because that's how the passive works. So the more X's you catch, the more gold payout you will get. Just want to like watch out for where the X's land. So for example, if the X's are going to land towards the wall, you might not want to catch it because that will put you in a very bad position. And sometimes you can even do a triple X, which is like a higher Draven mechanic, where you already have two X's, then after that spin one more X when the X is in the mid-air. So that's a triple X Draven mechanic. It might actually like, you might actually be pulling it off by accident during like mid fights, just that you're not aware of it. So when you're spamming the X, another X will come out. So right there I hit level 5 very quickly and the enemy team did not. So that's it. That's the end of the early game. That's why we just like storm on the enemy team and just, you know, just shit on them from there onwards. So that's how easy it is to play Draven. As long as you win the level 1 or level 2 trade, even you will just come out on top and just, you know, storm on the enemy team and they won't be having a good time in the game. Right there, the tower went down quickly because of the Draven X's. As you can see, like the way that I'm moving around, I'm like catching my X's as many as possible. You know, this way it refreshes the cooldown on the X, as in like you can keep spinning the X's. So as long as you catch those X's, After it return to you, you should be good to go on Draven. So right there, what I'm looking to do is just to get my payout. So that's it. 3-0 Draven. You can pretty much end the game from there onwards. And it's only what, 3 minutes into the game, and the game is already over. Okay, so channel update. I'm not really enjoying like Wild Rift right now because of the current patches that they are doing, you know, the direction that they are taking. I don't know. I don't really feel like playing Wild Rift anymore, man, honestly. But when they decide to fix the matchmaking system, I might actually return, or like when there's like larger player base. But right now it's not really fun to play the game at all, man. It's like the game is infested with like a lot of bad players. Don't really like it, man. It's like it's really coin flip right now. It's just coin flip game. Okay, another thing what you can do is that when you are when you want to keep the cooldown on the X's, what you want to do is just to attack the monster so that the X's return to you. Right there we go for the fight, even though it's 3v2 and I know my damage output, so I flash away because I panic, and right here I just go for 3v1 and I should be able to kill them all if I'm not wrong. Alright. So I actually flashed by accident because there was a miscommunication with my the teammate that I was playing with, my friend. If actually he have listened and ulti like 2 people, we could have actually killed them all. So yeah, I mean like whatever, man. This is like, I think it was a normal game, I think. So it's like both teams are really bad. Right, so what you can do is even when you're attacking the tower, you want to be catching the X's, so it actually deals a lot more damage. The X's pretty much empowers your auto attack, so that's pretty much to it to Draven. So just catch your X's. What you want to be mainly focusing on playing Draven is the catching of X's, so you don't really have to see who you are hitting. So right there you can let the X's drop because you know the damage output is already high. So you can do that as well to get more movement speed. Okay, so kite, boom, boom, kite, spam your second ability, kite again. That's all. That's all there is to Draven. Okay, so that's gonna be it for the game 1, and let's get right into the game 2 because you know game 1 is pretty much over. You are very fat AD carry. You know, game can go wrong if you are very fat AD carry. You can just close out the game, unless if you are playing other roles, you know. AD carry snowballs really hard into the late game, and I don't know how you must throw the game in order to like lose the game, man. Honestly, AD carries are the easiest role to play. So let's get right into the bad example of playing Draven in the early game, right? Okay, so right over to the game 2, we have Seraphine as a support and Malphite as a support and still Ashe as an AD carry. So only the supports change. As you can see, I'm still playing very aggressive on Draven. Okay, even like going for pokes under the tower. So what you want to be doing, just spamming a second ability whenever you can. And right here it was a very bad example because I took an unnecessary tower shot, and if I didn't take the tower shot right there, it would have come out on top on the trade. So as you can see, I'm trying to catch my X's, like even like giving up a CS, which is quite unnecessary, but you know, the X's will eventually pay out when you kill someone. So the payout is huge. Right there, I'm still continuing to play very aggressive on Draven. Okay, so I'll jump right into the mid game. Okay, so even if you are really like aggressive on Draven, you gotta watch out for these stupid ass Malphite players, man, or like anyone with crowd controls in general. Look at this, just look at this nonsense shit. He's right there, then he just uses all, and I'm dead, bro, I'm dead. So like enemies that have like knockups, you gotta watch out because you cannot QSS out of them. QSS only works on crowd control that are stunned or like slowed, so it won't work on knockouts. So you gotta watch out when you're playing against like champions like Orianna, Malphite, Alistar, all the champions with the knockup. Alright, so let me show you the power of Draven in the late game. I have only finished around 3 items, including my boots. So right here I just flash over with Infinity Edge and I'm Bloodthirster. And I actually killed him because Seraphim hit a stun on him. So right here, as you can see, I was quite low. And all I did was just spam my X's and as well as the second ability, which gives me movement speed as well as attack speed. So Draven don't really need to build attack speed because of that second ability. What you want to be maxing is the first ability, obviously, because that gives you the highest damage in the game. And then you want to be going for the movement speed, so you can keep running around and kiting them as well as chasing them. So right here, Zed try to 1v1 me, I teach him a lesson for doing that shit. Right before he can use his Shadow Clone, I use my third ability to cancel his animation, or as you can see, like it's a little stun or something like that, because it pushes them to the side. So right here is pretty much a 1v4, going crazy on them. Red buff will eventually kill the Malphite, and this Xing Zhao. Okay, red buff did not kill the Malphite, I think it killed the Xing Zhao instead. Alright, so the minions plus the red buff eventually killed Lee Sin. So that was pretty much the 1v3 1v4 rather, that Draven can do when you're facing against the enemy teams. So right there, I have only finished 3 items. That's after I've bought the items. So when I was fighting 4 of them, I only had 2 items. So Draven pretty much comes online around 2 items. Unlike Kaisa, where she actually comes online at around 3 or 4 items. I think Draven is like a better champion if you want to like snowball. So right here is another 1v3, and pretty much kite, just slap them in the face. Right here, they continue to do some dumb shit. None of them are buying Executioner Calling, so that's why I'm healing way too much. And yeah, I pretty much survived everything, and that's gonna be the end of the game.